Good morning. This is Melanie from Blue Diamond, and today I'm going to talk to you about our own value. And this can be a tricky one because often we are brought up maybe not to brag, maybe to be humble, maybe to focus on our work. If we do a good job, our work will speak for itself. And unfortunately, this isn't always the case. So, the idea today is talk a little bit about our own value and how we can actually recognize that, first of all, and then how we can bring this into our work so that other people can see some of our value and appreciate that as well. Now, in finance as well, and I'm not saying that we're completely different from other human beings, but in finance, we are particularly good at, I guess, assigning values to assets or liabilities, but maybe we're not so good at assigning values or appreciating the value in ourselves and our own kind of capabilities as well. So if we can kind of think in those terms as well, that could be useful. And one of the things that I learnt early on from one of my managers, and her name is Kathleen. So, Kathleen, if you happen to be listening to this, you'll know that it's you. And one of the things that she always said is that we always bring different things to the party. And she might have even said, we bring different things for a picnic or something. But I remember her saying, we all bring different things to the party. And I was in my 20s, and that kind of resonated with me. And the idea behind that is that we are each bringing something different that is unique and complementary, and that's okay. If we were all exactly identical to each other, or we had exactly the same skills and experience and things like that, it wouldn't be as useful. Wouldn't the sum of the whole wouldn't be as useful. But the idea is that we're not just bringing something unique, that we actually recognize what this is so that we can do more of it or we can use it in the right context, etc. So, what is our unique value when we're talking about ourselves? And actually, it can be a whole combination of things. So, it's our mix of strengths, it's our mix of skills, it's our mix of experiences. So, we're probably not talking about technical skills here, although that I know that these are very important for some people in some roles. But actually, it's more about how we think, how we connect with people, how we lead others, how we build relationships, how we communicate, all of these different things. So, how do we find our unique value? Well, I have got three things that I'm going to share with you here. The first is about strengths, and we all have strengths. And strengths are slightly different from skills. So, skills are things that we can do, and typically things that we have learned. Strengths are things that we are naturally good at. So with skills, we might have loads, like hundreds of skills, things that we can do. With strengths, we're probably going to have a handful, maybe five, maybe even less than that. And these are things that we're naturally good at. For me, for example, things like building relationships and connecting people together, these are strengths that I've probably had for most of my life because they are things that come natural to me. And I didn't really realize that they were strengths until the last few years. So sometimes these strengths are not obvious to us, and we feel like, well, doesn't everybody do this thing? Or, well, that's just what I do. And actually focusing in and identifying these strengths and then being able to use them, bringing them to the party can be extremely useful for us and valuable for other people as well. The next thing to think about, the second thing then, is the impact moments. And what I mean by this, moments when you have made a real difference. So it could be something that you've done, something that you've implemented, something that you've thought of, some people that you've connected, but something that's just been very impactful. And again, these impact moments, they might be few and far between, or we might have them periodically, but maybe we were running so fast or we were so intent in getting our work done that we've not necessarily identified these. So being able to think back a little bit like some of the things that we might put on our CV, but think about some of those things where we've really made a difference. And it could be a difference that we've made to the organization we were working with. It might be a difference to a project that we were working on. It might be a difference to a person or a group of people as well. So think about those impact moments and what was important. And the final thing, then, the third item is about feedback and reflection. And this is a great opportunity to think about what feedback have you already received. So whether this is, through your annual performance management, or whether it is feedback, people thanking you spontaneously, or feedback that you've asked for. And what are the things in common? And what are those words that people are saying? Is it about you being helpful? Is it about you being, thinking outside of the box? What are those key things? And actually, we can go a step further with this because we can ask people for that feedback as well. And what I encourage people to do is ask for 3 to 5 words from 3 to 5 people and see what kind of things they are saying about you. And that can be really useful for you to do a quick snapshot at this point in time to see what really matters to them most. So by now, you should have a better idea of the kind of value that we're talking about. I know that there's some bits to think about, bits to ask people around. But once we've got this idea of value and what we can bring, how can we bring this into our work? Well, every day we have opportunities to do this. Every day we're interacting with different people, there is an opportunity. And I don't mean, me, let me do this. But it's like, where is this opportunity that we can use some of our strengths, we can use some of our skills, we can help people, we can serve people, and we can just do our best work and allow that to shine. And this can be as simple as in any meetings that we're in, any opportunities to speak or present. When we're interacting with 1 or 2 people, maybe in our one-to-one with our manager or with any direct reports, and in projects as well, being able to volunteer for things. And in an ideal world, if we can find kind of the overlap between what we do best, that value that we really can bring to our work, and things that we enjoy as well, and what our organization or team needs, then that is going to be the perfect opportunity. So don't be afraid to look out for those opportunities. Keep your eyes and your ears to the ground. So, kind of in summary, you already have a lot of value. This is your opportunity to identify it, bring it to the forefront, maybe give it a polish up, and be able to kind of recognize it and own it. You have a lot of value. And look for those opportunities where you can put it into play as well. And maybe have a think about this as you go back to work this week and think, where can I really shine? What can I do? What am I bringing to the party that maybe others don't or that others can value? When we're thinking about ourselves, it can be easy to overlook some of these things. So often look closer at some of those human qualities. Not so much about the technical things, not so much about AI and other things coming down the road, but those human qualities, because those are often the most unique and often the hardest to replace as well.